What's up, guys? We're back with another stream after the Tyson Fury Oleksandr Usyk fight that happened yesterday. I did a video today. If you guys didn't see it already, go check it out. It is on the channel, came out this morning. Recap the event, recap my thoughts on who I thought won the fight in detail. It's a little bit of a quicker go, so go check that out after the stream because I talk a little bit more in depth there, talk about just some of the stuff about Tyson Fury's reaction afterwards. Hey, what's up, guys? I already saw Jimbo was in the chat. I appreciate it. What's up, John Dong? What's up, Graham Odom? Yeah, what's up, guys? Happy Sunday. I picked Usyk by decision and won pretty good money. I know, man. Man, I gotta say, so I was on the fence about betting for this one. I was just like, I've been on quite a roll with the bets. Obviously, you guys, if you guys tuned into the stream where I did the UFC 310 stream where I picked the bets, we were very successful with the live stream. Sorry, I thought the music was playing again. We were very successful with our picks that day. When I did the parlays and I did the singles, and we cashed in pretty good. So I was like feeling myself, but I was like, you know what, this is a mistake that I feel like I make. I win and I'm like, all right, you know what, I'm feeling myself, and I get a little too greedy. So I was thinking about betting for this one, and I was thinking of going with Usyk by decision. I don't know if you could let me know the line on that. I'm curious to know. But probably like plus something. I was thinking of going, but Usyk was, Usyk was I was surprised he was such a small favorite. Like, I would have thought he was a minus 200 or something like that because obviously I feel like the kind of public feeling. I'm not saying I believed it because I did think the first fight was extremely close, but the public feeling was kind of like, Usyk was going to destroy Fury again and etc. But very close line. Obviously, the fight was also very close, even closer to this fight. Let's talk about it, guys. I want to show you guys, I actually kind of messed up here. I wanted to show you guys my scorecard exclusively to the stream. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out if there's a way I could do this. Maybe not. Maybe I can do it this way. But you know what? I'll just go recap it round by round if you guys don't mind. Sorry, guys. I kind of messed up on that. The first round I gave to Tyson Fury. Second round I gave to Usyk. All close rounds, by the way. Third round I gave to Tyson Fury. I love the videos, bro. Thank you. I appreciate it. Fourth round I gave to Usyk. Fifth round I gave to Tyson Fury, as I said in my video. After the first 5 rounds or so, I had Fury up ahead by 1 round. I remember that. And after that, it was basically 6, 7, 8 I gave to Usyk, 9 I gave to Fury, 10, 11 I gave to Usyk, and 10 I gave to round 12. I'm sorry, round 12 I gave to Usyk, or round 12 I gave to Fury, I mean to say. Yeah, round 12 I gave to Fury, of course. Fury did really well in the 12th round. And look, like I said, guys, I was surprised because I genuinely did think that maybe the weight gain would kind of affect things. You know what I mean? And it would kind of affect Fury's conditioning because I felt like the first fight, Fury was doing very well. It's just that, at a certain point, it just seemed like I felt like he couldn't keep up with the pace with Usyk. And because Usyk is just a smaller guy, Usyk is coming from cruiserweight. I mentioned this in the video. It kind of reminds me of what we were talking about with John Jones in the in the heavyweight division of the UFC. And basically, we talked about how John Jones is just faster and has these unique movements that other heavyweights don't have. And it's kind of similar to Oleksandr Usyk, is that he has a pace that not a lot of heavyweights can handle. Not a lot of heavyweights can throw the amount of punches that he could throw per round. What's up, Piggly Wiggly? I see you. I said, not a lot of people could throw at the volume that Oleksandr Usyk does, right? He just throws, tons of, if you look at his punch stats, he just continues throwing from round 1 to round 12. Heavyweights are going to slow down. Like Anthony Joshua is the type of guy that takes rounds off, because he just can't keep up that pace because they're just bigger. It's a lot more complicated. And if you're a guy who can, have good defense, have a good chin as well, because Usyk has taken some big shots in the heavyweight division thus far, like from Anthony Joshua, took a big shot against Fury last fight with that uppercut. Even this fight took a few shots, nobody really landed any big shots. And when nobody's going to land big shots, that is when Usyk is going to win, because Usyk is going to outvolume you. Now, with that being said, for a fight that, Fury didn't really hurt Usyk, Fury did very well because he was able to keep up with that pace pretty well, and I think it was because how conditioned he was and how focused he was on training. No more fights until January now. Yeah, I know, guys. It's going to be tough. This time of year is always rough, even for the channel, guys. Also, we're going to do a little bit later, we're going to do a bracket, guys. We have a full bracket for the heavyweight division. What are the plans? What should we do? I'm going to break that down a little bit. We're also going to talk about Conor McGregor, Logan Paul, a little bit at the end, talk a little bit update just at the end and discuss that. But yeah, so like I said, it just seemed like first half very close and competitive, and at a certain point, we see Usyk just pull ahead. That's what happened in the Anthony Joshua fight. This is his game plan: bank some early rounds, kind of take a break in the middle, and then put it on near the end. That is kind of what we do. You know, we saw Usyk try to stay in the fight rounds 1 through 3. I thought Fury was doing very well. Took a little bit break in the middle, and then I think it was like round 6. He really put it on Fury, won most of those rounds, and I think you got to give Usyk the decision. Now, I will say, I said in my video, I didn't see any scorecards for Fury. I will say as a correction, I was very busy yesterday. I watched the fight, had to do something after, and then filmed the video, edit the video, and didn't really go on Twitter all that much. But after going on Twitter, there is a few people that are scoring this for Fury. I'm surprised that there is a lot of people that are saying this is a robbery. Now, I don't know if this is just British fans. I don't know if it's just fans of Fury that are just, salty or whatever, but it was a close fight. I don't know, like, I have to rewatch the fight maybe, but I don't think that there really is a convincing argument where you could say, oh, Fury was robbed. Maybe if you want to score for Fury, I could totally understand, maybe. I won't even say totally understand, but that's one thing to score for Fury. But it's another thing to say it's a robbery and that Fury was robbed and Fury definitively won. Yeah, I thought it was a draw. It was very close to a draw, in my opinion. I mean, it was one round off. I had a 115 to 113. The scorecards were 116 to 112, I believe. And the AI scoring was 118 to 112. So that was a little weird. Obviously, not at all. That would mean I think Fury won 2 rounds out of the whole thing, which, that's obviously a little ridiculous. Yeah, I don't know if AI judging is all up to par there, but I think probably at some point in the future, perhaps, because AI is getting crazy, dude. I mean, I don't know if you guys, AI is insane, with some of this stuff. Maybe I was thinking about doing a stream with AI one time. We'll see. Ask it some AI, ask it for MMA questions, ask it for predictions. We'll see. But that's a video for a live stream video, whatever, for another day. Anyway, guys, yeah, so like I said, Fury kind of just at the end pulled it. I felt like kind of slowed it down. Didn't commit, not necessarily didn't commit, it's just that Usyk wasn't really there to be found. I mean, Usyk is just so small. He fights small. It's hard to find him. And I got to say, with all this talk of Fury got robbed, this and that I'm seeing online on Twitter, it kind of makes me a little more interested to see a trilogy right away. Am I necessarily advocating for that? No. But would I be upset with it? No. And honestly, I'd be pretty excited for it if it did get announced. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sit here and complain. We got 2 incredibly close fights against clearly the number 1 and number 2 guys in the world right now in terms of heavyweight, and I guess pound for pound because they are heavyweight. So literally the top boxers in the world right now. We could have them going, we could have them for a third fight. I would not complain at all, but I do think that maybe that they should take on some other competition, freshen each other up, get some, especially if you get a win on his record, get his confidence a little bit back, and prepare for Usyk. Usyk is a tough challenge. I do think that maybe there's a scenario where Tyson Fury does beat Usyk. Usyk also is getting earlier. What's up, Ego Death? What up? I do think that there's a possibility that Usyk, that Tyson Fury could beat Usyk, especially Usyk is getting older. That's another thing, is that Usyk is, I believe, going to turn 38 in January. I mean, that is pretty old for boxing, of course, I mean to say. Like, I say this all the time, I'm like, oh, it's old, and then everybody in the comments is like, it's not old. I'm sorry, guys. I don't mean to offend anybody. I'm just saying, for boxing, for combat sports, that is old, right? For boxing, it's probably a little bit better, but, and especially being a heavyweight too, but, than maybe MMA. But it's still pretty old for that. Who would win, Prime Dillashaw or Sean O'Malley? That's interesting. I would probably say O'Malley. I think O'Malley has really good takedown defense. I just think that against Merab, I think he was really injured. I do believe him on that, and I believe, that did affect things in the fight. I'm not saying I probably would pick Merab again, obviously, but I'm just saying I do think that affected things. And even against Merab, he really didn't get taken down all that much, and he doesn't really get taken down all that much. And I think he's just a better striker than TJ. So I'd probably pick O'Malley, to be honest. But at the same time, you don't know. Yeah, it's old for heavyweight, but it works. Yeah. Exactly. And I think that Usyk is just very good. Usyk is just a specimen, man. He is a guy who has just dedicated his life to boxing. He is the guy that's going out partying, who's, doing drugs with all this money. He's going home, he's chilling with his family. He's going to train some boxing, come back and be focused. So, I'm curious to see where Usyk goes from here. I think the obvious fights to make, they're pretty obvious after this. Usyk versus Dubois, the winner of Dubois and Parker, coming up in February 22nd. That is a crazy card as well. I'll definitely be watching that. A crazy stack card from top to bottom. I mean, that is maybe one of the most stacked cards in boxing that we have seen in a long time. I mean, I'm trying to think. I don't even think if you guys could even come up with a card more stacked than that. I mean, you'd probably, I don't even know where you'd have to go to find. But I think it's one of the most stacked cards we've ever seen in boxing. A great card, and I'll definitely be covering that. I'll definitely be talking about it. I'll definitely be watching it and paying for it and everything like that. And it's a good fight, a good co-main event, and I'm excited for Dubois. Who did you pick for the Fury fight? I picked Oleksandr Usyk. It kind of went as I thought. As I said in my video when I initially predicted it, I predicted it on Wednesday or Friday. I think it was Friday. I predicted that it would be close early on, and then at one point Usyk would pull away due to the volume, just outlanding Fury, and that's what happened. I mean, that straight left to the body was it's such a small shot, but the straight left to the body that Usyk was throwing, but it was pivotal for his win. I mean, it was pivotal. It set up shots. It set up that dipping up and down movement. That shot right there was so simple, and that's what just shows in boxing. It's these little things. And look, I think it's always good. You got to mix it up, body head and things. And Usyk especially at the end was beautifully mixing it up, body heading, just putting Fury on the back foot, making Fury guess, and just landing that straight left repeatedly when maybe Fury would land maybe one good shot, two good shots around at certain points, and wouldn't do enough to steal around. The judges are going to go back to, okay, well, then who landed the most shots? And it's going to be Usyk. Usyk is landing those hard shots to the body that are making noise, that are doing something for the judges to see. And that's kind of, and that's why I picked Usyk. I thought Usyk was going to out-volume Fury, especially at the end, which is what happened. Fury did better than I thought he would. I thought that it would be kind of similar to the first fight, where maybe at some point Fury would be hurt. Now, granted, I also made my prediction before the whole weight thing, but when I saw the weight thing, that made me even feel more conflicted, where I was like, wow, I don't know, this could either completely backfire or be a great decision. I was kind of leaning towards backfire, but it didn't backfire, I don't think. I think, if anything, it was a good decision, and it helped him. Because it's not like he got tired. If he would have gotten tired, I think then, yeah, that would have been a big mistake. But he kept up the pace, even being at 281 pounds and being a lot bigger than Usyk. And credit to Usyk. Usyk is fighting dudes that are even bigger than he is. But yeah, guys, I think it's time to move on to, we're still going to be talking about the boxing thing, to the heavyweight boxing. But we're going to be talking about it at large. We're going to be talking about 2025. What is going on, guys? So yeah, 2025 is a big year. We have Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Obviously, look, they're putting on big fights. They're putting on humongous fights, but we're gonna continue on guessing who's gonna fight who should fight who, what are the fights to make, who should win each fight if these fights happen. What winners should fight, etc. So let's just talk. Let's BS around. Let's put on a little fan fiction, or whatever you guys want to call it. First things first, I think we're going to start with the obvious one, which is Tyson Fury. Let me move him a little bit. Tyson Fury. I think he should fight. Obviously, I think everyone would agree with this. Finally, Anthony Joshua. I think that is the fight to make. Clearly the fight to make. And look, maybe some people would say, look, if Fury beats Joshua, he should just get an immediate shot against Usyk. We'll find that out, because we'll discuss and move around and things like that, because I'm kind of just doing this off the cuff live. But I think that this is the fight to make. I mean, do it in England, do it in Wembley. That's a humongous fight. And it's a fight that we've wanted to see for such a long time, right? We've always wanted to see these two fight. Both are huge heavyweights in England. And look, let's be honest, the fight probably never happened because both these guys are big stars in their own right. Why would they both want to risk their stardom and lose all of it just to give it to the other guy? At the end of the day, look, this is high risk, high reward for both these guys. Like, there's no other win on the planet that is going to get Anthony Joshua or Tyson Fury back on the map like this. I mean, I'm trying to think, like, who could Tyson Fury fight that would be like, oh shit, okay, he beat Joshua, or he, like, better than that? I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing him fight Zhilei Zhang, Tyson Fury, to be honest. I think that's an interesting fight, but I think even I think he beats Zhang. And yeah, so I think that this would be the best fight to make. Moving on, let's see. I think they should do. We'll do this one. The winner of Dubois versus Parker. We obviously don't know that. That's a close fight. Goes against Usyk. Now, look. Here's the thing. You might be like, hey, what's up? I think it's a smart move to have the winner of this fight the winner of this, simply because, let's be honest, this is a big fight. I wouldn't mind it. I think Fury is going to beat Joshua. Now, I think Usyk does beat both these guys. However, I don't think it's a done deal. I think he beats Dubois, but I don't know if he beats Parker. Parker's a little bit of a closer fight. But I think he beats Dubois. I do agree with Dubois. I do think that he did get a little bit robbed with that body shot. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was a body shot. I'm not an expert on these things. I'm not as expertise in the boxing rule set as I am more in MMA, so I don't want to say confidently one way or the other, really. But in my opinion, yeah, I would probably say that is a body shot. And yeah, so I think, look, in my opinion, I think that Usyk does stand a chance against Dubois, but I think Dubois would lose again. I think that body shot was just kind of a one-of-one type of situation, but Parker is a close fight. But let me move on. I think the winner of these two should fight, because it's a bigger fight than anyone else I'm going to list here. But let's move on so you guys can kind of see my reasoning. Moving on, let's do the loser now. The loser, let me make this in black and white just so we know that this is the loser. Yeah, the loser of this going against, let's do Zhilei Zhang. Now, I know this might raise a few eyeballs because obviously Parker and Zhilei Zhang fought, but Dubois and Zhilei Zhang have not fought, so I think that would be a good fight. Obviously, I don't think anybody would disagree if Dubois loses. Yeah, him and Zhang would be a good fight. I know there's talk of Joshua and Zhang, which is interesting. Not a terrible fight, but I think, look, the Joseph Parker fight with Zhilei Zhang, it was a close fight. It was a fight where Parker got dropped. I mean, Parker did get dropped and then came back and then won the fight. Wouldn't mind seeing a rematch of this. It happened. I know it happened last year. Look, I'm gonna be honest. This isn't an ideal situation, but it's just like, this is the picks. This is kind of where we're going. But it would really work out well if Parker versus Usyk happens and Zhang versus Dubois happens. But we'll see. And now moving on, we haven't forgot about our boy Deontay Wilder. Who should he fight next in boxing? Well, I think the answer is obvious. Let's have Francis Ngannou back in the situation. Francis Ngannou did well against Tyson Fury. I thought that was a terrible performance from Tyson Fury. To be honest, I don't think that is a testament to how good of a boxer than Ngannou is. But I think that was more of just Tyson Fury not really fighting his best and not really showing up his best. So personally, I think that this would be a good fight because Ngannou is coming off of a vicious loss to Anthony Joshua, and let's be honest, Deontay Wilder hasn't looked the best as of late. So I think this would make a lot of sense to do this. All right, so like I said, let's assume who wins, who doesn't win. I'm gonna assume Tyson Fury wins. If Tyson Fury wins, he'll fight, I think, Usyk a third time. Which, look, guys, like I said, Fury coming off of a win against Anthony Joshua, I would not at all mind seeing a trilogy. Fury is done. I don't think he's done at all. I think that Fury is I think, like I said in my video, I think he looked better than he did since the second or third Deontay Wilder fight. I think that's the best he's looked. I mean, against Ngannou, he didn't look good. The first Usyk fight, he did look good. He was well trained, but he just did better than he did in that fight. So, of course, I'm going to say it was better than that performance. I think this was a really good version of Tyson Fury. I think this version of Tyson Fury beats a lot of other people. So, I don't think that Fury beats Usyk, to be honest, ever. So, I do think that Usyk would continue and probably be in this final match. But where do the others go? Where do the others go? So, the winner or loser against Zhilei Zhang, I would probably predict that the loser would probably make it past just because obviously Joseph Parker already beat him, and Dubois has looked really good as of late. I mean, I've been really impressed with Dubois. I feel like he's one of these guys that don't get talked about enough. So we'll put that in there. And And next up, we have Deontay Wilder versus Francis Ngannou, which is a very close fight because Deontay Wilder has not looked very good as of recently, but he does have that power. And man, you know what I mean? I don't know. Guys, his style doesn't work for new contenders, even, as I say, yeah, contenders. Even Daniel Dubois can outbox him. I don't know about that. I think we're already saying, oh no, look, there's no chance that Fury could win. Guys, Fury looked really good. I think that you guys are just you guys got to consider how good Usyk is, dude. Usyk is very, very good, and I think that he just made Fury not look good. You know what I'm saying? But no, I think that his style is very good. His timing is good. I think that he would do well against Dubois. To be honest, I think that he would. I think that version beats Dubois, but you never know. I mean, I think you guys have to consider this. Like, Usyk, yeah, was pushing Fury up against the cage, or against the fence, I should say, really, through the whole fight. But does Daniel Dubois do that? I don't think he does, because Daniel Dubois doesn't have that type of volume. So I think this is a bit more of an even fight, and I think that Fury would have more room to outbox and do what he usually does. Usyk didn't give him any room to outbox. He didn't give him the chance to outbox, which is why Usyk did so good. Moving on, though, who do I think would win against Wilder and Ngannou? It's a tough fight. I'm actually gonna go. I'm not married to this pick. I'm gonna go with Ngannou just to make things interesting, freshen things up. I do think, though, the loser would beat Ngannou. So I guess we're kind of just circling here, and the loser of this bout would probably wind up fighting Usyk anyway. So it doesn't really matter who wins or loses, because you'll get your chance eventually. Do you think they'll do AJ versus Fury now? I mean, there's been so many close calls. You can't really say like, oh yeah, they're going to do it, because there's been so many times where it's felt confident. Oh yeah, they're doing it this day. It seems like they're finally making the fight. There's been so many times. I think that this is the best decision. Like I said, I said when I originally was talking about this fight, I think that, look, beforehand, why would you do the Fury Usyk? I mean, why would you do the Fury AJ fight back then, right? We're talking 2019, 2018, 2020 even. And obviously Fury wasn't the champ. I don't think he wouldn't become the champ 2020 when he beat Wilder finally in that February fight. So yeah, it would just turn 2020. So look, 2020, 2019, 2018. Why would you do Fury versus AJ? Because they're both big boxers in the UK, both stars, both draws. Why would you knock one of each other off? I get it from their perspective, from the promoter's perspective. Why would you want to do that? Obviously, us fans want to see it. Obviously, from their perspective, they don't want to do that. However, now I don't think that there's a win that Fury could have, and Anthony Joshua could have, that they both could have, that would make people say, okay, you know what, I kind of want to see them back in title contention. If Fury knocks out Anthony Joshua, to be honest, it wouldn't. I think fans would know. Look, that not exactly the biggest, most impressive thing. Seeing that Anthony Joshua just lost to Dubois, seeing that Anthony Joshua, his wins were against Robert Helenius, and against who else did he fight? He fought Ngannou, and I forgot who else he fought. I'm drawing a blank, but there's another name in there if you guys can help me. But yeah, so I said, so look, it wasn't exactly the biggest list of great names, and I think him, and I think if he beat Fury, if Fury beat Anthony Joshua, I think a lot of people would understand. Look, it's not exactly the most impressive, most biggest thing in the world, but if Anthony Joshua goes out and beats Fury, that is huge. That is huge for Anthony Joshua. I will say, because Fury did look good. Like I said, I keep saying Fury looked good. There's a chance there's a chance Joshua could beat Fury. I thought Joshua was looking very good before the Dubois fight. In those fights, I thought that he was really coming into his own. Really building this new style that he's been really working on. A mix of outboxing, a mix of being that power aggressor that he was back then. I felt like he was really finding that good balance, and then he lost to Dubois. So we'll see how that affects him. But I do think that Fury would beat him. I think Fury is faster. I think he's got better conditioning. I think the early rounds will be close. I think Joshua should, once again, kind of like Usyk did, throw to the body, throw right hands to the body, really press Tyson Fury. But I think at the end of the day, I think that Fury will be able to evade, eat the shots early, and, really take over later part of the fight. I think he'll probably win a decision outboxing him. Maybe he'll even get a knockout later in the fight. But that's just how I see the fight going. But do they make it now? I think they should. I think that there is so much at stake for these guys. I mean, if Fury wins, if AJ wins, that is huge for their career and a really big turnaround for these guys. And yeah, so this is what I think they should do. I think that this is probably how it'll go. It's just funny that, like, yeah, Usyk is gonna fight the winner of Dubois and Parker, and at the end of this, turns out that he's just gonna fight the loser of it anyway. Which, look, I wouldn't mind. I think that there's a lot of good matchups. I mean, really, any of these matchups, I wouldn't mind. Like, I wouldn't mind, Zhang and Ngannou. I mean, I wouldn't mind. Anthony Joshua and even Dubois again. I really wouldn't mind that rematch. I think that was a rematch that not a lot of people want to see. I wouldn't have minded seeing it, to be honest, because it was a good fight. And maybe there's an argument to me. Maybe Anthony Joshua underestimated him. Maybe Anthony Joshua came in and got clipped early and all that, kind of like the Andy Ruiz fight. But obviously, I think Dubois is a little bit more accomplished than Andy Ruiz is. But yeah, this is what I think they should probably do. I think that all these fights are big, and 2025 for boxing is looking good. It's looking better than it ever has. And yeah, so I'll let you guys take a look before I close this thing out. And yeah, so guys, that was boxing 2025. I look, the fight was really good. The fight was amazing. I think the fact that we have these two great of heavyweights competing. The first one was for undisputed. This one wasn't exactly for undisputed, but still great fights. And, just I'm excited to see what happens next. I think there are so many good options, like I said, for these guys. Any of these picks would 1,000% be fair and would 1,000% be fun for whatever they do next. So moving on, though, let's talk about real quick. I want to talk about a little bit about Logan Paul, Conor McGregor. A little update, guys. Yeah, so it turns out the UFC, WWE are not even in talks. Not even, because keep in mind, Logan Paul signed to WWE, Conor McGregor signed to UFC. Does the fight happen? I don't think so anymore, guys. Originally, I said, look, there's a possibility. I think the fact that the UFC is not really involved, that WWE is not really involved, don't think the fight is going to happen. I think that, first of all, I'm glad. I don't think this fight should happen. I'd much rather see Conor McGregor in the UFC. But I still think, look, there's probably a solid 10% chance, which is pretty high. That's a pretty high chance for what we're talking about. If you would have asked me 3 months ago, yeah, Conor McGregor, Logan Paul happening next year, do you think that could happen? I would tell you there's no chance that would happen. Like, and I wouldn't even blink telling you that. I would be like, there's absolutely no chance that would happen, and that's ridiculous. The fact that I'm saying 10% is pretty high, and I think you guys could agree on that. And yeah, look, like I said, like, I think that the fight, I hope it doesn't happen. I think that Conor McGregor would really just show his downfall, because Conor McGregor back in 2021, remember, guys, Jake was calling this guy out. Conor was calling him out so many times, and Conor would just not respond. And I thought it was a brilliant move, because it's like, that's basically Conor saying, look, I'm above this. Like, this is just, this is stupid. I'm a real fighter. I fight in the cage. I do all this. And it just is now, like, kind of just subscribing to the idea of, like, yeah, I am kind of falling off. I am kind of a UFC vet. I don't fight anymore, and I'm not a real fighter. That is kind of what you're saying by, accepting this. And the fact that Conor McGregor was the one calling out Logan Paul, it was a bad move, I thought, on his part. I understand he probably wants to fight. He wants the money. But it's like, you want the money, but, like, what? You're not broke. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's rich. He doesn't have to fight a day in his life. So you're really going to, whore out your reputation just for this fight? It doesn't make any sense. And it's just enraging. Like, I don't really understand any of this thought process, honestly. And look, Conor, I almost said KSI, I don't know why. Conor McGregor versus Jake Paul, that's a fight I would be more into, all right? Because, look, I would not want to see it, just because I really would not want to see Jake Paul beat Conor McGregor. But just because, like, Jake Paul's ego would just go absolutely insane. But, but there's actually some friction to that fight. There is some heat. And especially if the UFC is on board. Think about it. The interactions with Dana and Jake, that would just make for, seriously, one of the biggest fights that we've seen. I think, honestly, hot take, bigger than Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. Hot take. I know that might be a hot take, but that's just my opinion. I think just because you have that friction there, you have the fact, I mean, Conor McGregor coming off of this lawsuit that he was found civilly liable for. I mean, you have Conor McGregor, the fact that he's coming back after 3 years, and Jake Paul obviously been calling him out this whole time, been going on a tear, a quote-unquote tear in boxing. We could pick it apart, and it's not really a tear, but, you know, a quote-unquote tear in boxing has been doing a lot of good things in boxing. And look, I think that would be a massive fight. I think that the back and forth between them would be good. But Logan, I don't think is a really good boxer, to be honest. I think Logan, I mean, he literally won 6 rounds with Dylan Dennis, and so I don't think he's going to be able to knock out Conor McGregor. Dylan Dennis was undersized for Logan Paul. So that's just my opinion, guys. There's going to be a new video tomorrow talking about some MMA news, talking about everything, new in combat sports. And also check out the MMA awards I did last Monday, where I gave the best knockout, my best fighter, my best whatever. That video didn't get in a lot of inboxes. I don't know why. I think it was just because not really current events related. It was kind of hard to tag it, in my opinion. But who wins at light heavyweight, Prime DC or Hamza? I would probably pick DC 1000%. DC's bigger. DC has the wrestling ability that I think he would survive with Hamza Chimaev. I don't think Hamza would be able really to hold him down. I think that Hamza would probably just gas himself out, especially if it's a 5-round fight. I think DC takes that, no doubt. I mean, look, and I thought that Robert Whittaker was going to be Hamza, and I was actually fairly confident in that pick. But, so, look, take it with a grain of salt, I guess, but maybe I'm just an underestimator of Hamza. But, look, going up a weight class, light heavyweight, I mean, that's huge. I think that that would be a huge weight disadvantage, a huge strength disadvantage. I think DC would be used to wrestling with guys. I mean, DC is an Olympic level wrestler, guys. He's not a slouch on the ground where he's just going to get easily submitted and picked up, plopped down, and submitted. I don't think that's going to happen. I think that we would see some scrambles if they even wrestle first off the gate, which, keep in mind, like, you guys forget, but Hamza, Hamza did try to go for a takedown against Gilbert Burns, but he really didn't, I think, in the first, 20-30 seconds. But after that, he really was not aggressive with the takedown, so I wouldn't be surprised if in this scenario, Hamzat's like, yeah, I don't think I could take down DC, and they have a striking match. I think that would actually be Hamzat's best chance, is mixing in the striking with the wrestling. I think if he did that, he would be unstoppable, but it seems like what he's doing is unstoppable. I mean, he literally just destroyed Robert Whittaker, so who am I to say, that he should do something else different, but I think that, I think that what he's doing, I don't know if it'll work forever. I don't know if it's going to work against Duplessis. I don't know. It could work against Duplessis, and if it does, that would be absolutely insane. If he really just goes out there, takes down these guys, and brings them to the mat and just submits them within a round. If he can keep doing that, that's great, but it's a high-risk, high-reward situation because you're putting in so much energy, and if somebody could survive, like a DC, or even like a Dricus Duplessis, which I think he could potentially survive that, where does that leave him? You know what I mean? And that's the question. But I'm going to wrap it up here, guys. You guys are the best fan base in MMA, combat sports, boxing. I know, look, JackMMA, it's a little weird for me covering boxing, but I love covering boxing. I love watching boxing. I'm a boxing fan. Just JackMMA does sound nice, so, in my opinion. So, thank you guys for watching, guys. The best fan base in MMA. New video tomorrow at 10 a.m. Check out the video I dropped today. I talked more about the Tyson Fury fight and Oleksandr Usyk fight. Talked about Fury's reaction after. We didn't really get into it in this live stream. Talked about him saying that fight was a robbery, him not agreeing with the judges. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. You guys are the best fan base in MMA. Hit the subscribe button, guys. Come on. Notification bell. You guys are the best. And I'll see you guys in the next one.